Greetings Internet, DDA here, and welcome to the first set of videos that we have coming out in the new Set 5 of Star Wars Unlimited, The Force Awakens. This is going to be a great set for anyone who loves Jedi and loves using lightsabers and Force users to defeat your opponent. Now I know that the new Rey Nobody has gotten a lot of flack for being underpowered. However, it's this competitive casual player's opinion and Mace Windu player's opinion that Rey is actually fairly strong and in many ways actually is better than Mace Windu, and we're going to go over a lot of ways that she's actually better than Mace Windu. So stay tuned. If you like blue red Force decks and you like the new Rey, or you find her interesting, buckle in because this is going to be a good one. Now as you can see from the list, there is a lot of control cards in here. This is I would consider this a mid-range deck. What Rey, so let's first start by what Rey is giving you, like why you would want to play a Rey deck. What Rey is giving you is that free ping damage, doesn't cost a resource. The only thing that you need to do is play a card that is a Force card that's not a unit. So if you notice and if you skim over the deck, you would see that I think there's about 18 Force events in this deck, in this 50 card deck. And, like, all the events you play are Force events. There's not a single event in here that is not a Force event. And what allows you to do that is the new Shatterpoint event. Because, of course, if you're playing a blue deck means that you're going to put quality removal in your deck. And the Shatterpoint card that is going to release in Set 5 kind of allows you to play your removal while also playing into the synergy of the Rey ability, because none of the traditional, the other removal, like Fell the Dragon, Takedown, Rival's Fall, they're all tactics, they're not Force cards, so the Shatterpoint gives you an ability to play excellent blue removal, because of course Shatterpoint is probably the best removal card in the game at this point. I would argue that, and that of course boosts the archetype of Rey even further. The fact that not only can we lean into this as our removal card, but it's also like the best removal card in the game. So what Rey allows you to do, and Rey has been ridiculed for her weak deploy, and I will say that it took me about 10 games to really see the power of Rey deploy. I think I'm close to undefeated with this deck. Right now I have a 100% win ratio on Karabast. That's when I started tracking it. But of course, playing the best removal aside, what's going to set your Rey deck apart from the other decks is of course the 10 1-cost Force cards. But first I'm going to start with the 9. The 9 1-cost Force cards, because they're very significant in the deck. These 9 1-cost Force cards are all removal cards, and they are premium removal in this Rey deck. For example, Mystic Reflection. Mystic Reflection, of course, pretty much every unit we play, besides the space units, are Force. We have an incredible high concentration of Force users in this deck. You're going to be able to activate both Force Throw and Mystic Reflection readily. Mystic Reflection, going to be a 1-for-3 for you, so just a better Daring Raid. So keep in mind, like, Mace plays Daring Raid for 2-for-3, but Rey is going to get Mystic Reflection for 1-for-3, and that's the theme you're going to be seeing as a comparison between Mace and Rey, is that Rey is the more aggressive version of this archetype. She allows you to play the removal cheaply and then while simultaneously building your board. Because of course turn 2, when you're on 3 resource, you can play one of these 1-cost removals, remove the opponent's turn 1 play, and then develop your board with a 2-drop, play an Infested Brawler, things like that. So Mystic Reflection, 1-for-3. Sorcerer's Blast is 1-for-4 in here. Again, just crazy. Like 1-for-4 is super premium removal, better than Open Fire. 1-for-4, we'll take out most mid-game units, or at least get them ready to be followed up by a single Rey Power, like if it has 5 HP. Be followed up by a single Rey Power to finish them off. And then Force Throw, don't need to really talk about it. Just an amazing card. But the other significant thing about Rey that makes her somewhat better than Mace Windu is the fact that you can kind of slow roll her power and then actually damage an undamaged unit. For example, like let's say you Sorceress Blast to take out their turn 1 play, then they play their turn 2 play. Well, I can activate Rey power to damage their turn 2 play for free, for completely free. You know, no resource, no fuss, no muss, like just bam, 1 damage, start it out. And that way, next turn, I can follow up with another effect that may take them out. Like I use the example, if you Sorceress Blast, you're going to miss 1 if they have 5, if that turn 2 play has 5 HP. So there's a lot of play that you can do with this deck where you're kind of stacking effects, and that's what I found, that Rey was actually better at stacking effects than Mace was. Mace does more damage with his power, which is why it costs a resource, and why Mace can hang in the late game a little more. Rey is going to be your more low to the ground, aggressive deck that pushes in with the low cost events, and then the units kind of filling in and pushing for you. And for that low to the ground nature, that kind of mid-range control-y aggro that you're going to be playing with this deck, that's why I play the 1 copy of Unleash Rage. Because this deck is going to push in. And Unleash Rage is kind of crazy. Like, Red was always kind of craving that extra burst damage. Like, we got it with Heroic Resolve, sort of. We have that burst damage. It's really slow. Like, the red burst damage cards are really slow. But we have, like, a pseudo Surprise Strike now. It doesn't instantly attack like Surprise Strike. However, it does cost less than Surprise Strike. Like, again, these 1-cost events simultaneously allowing you to push crazy damage and develop your board. Like, you're going to use Unleash Rage on one of your early Jedi units. Like, you're going to use it on a Yaddle or a Secretive Sage or something like that. Push in 6 damage or 5 damage and threaten it. And they're going to be tempted to use their removal card on the card that you use Unleash Rage on. And then you're going to be able to further develop your board because Unleash Rage only costs 1 resource. And then ping something because you're Rey. It's just the stacking effects is just so great in this deck. I love this deck. The other thing I want to mention is just playing the blue hero, the red-blue hero force decks. You get access to pretty much the best turn 2 Jedi plays, which is, of course, Addy and Yaddle. Both of them are crazy strong, both 2/4s. Both have excellent effects that will allow them to stick on the board and actually give you damage value. The other turn 1 play I want to mention, Infested Brawler. This isn't a strong mid-range card. Allows you to use the Force, like extra uses of the Force, to put into damage, kind of like Unleash Rage, but puts the damage on the board. You can use it for control if you want. Like, you can use the 4 or 3 damage from Infested Brawler for control, or you could just push in. Infested Brawler, crazy strong, because again, you're going to be, turn 2, you're going to be using that 1 resource for counterplay. Like, you could use a Mystic Reflection or a Force Throw turn 2, have 2 left, still have the Force from your turn 1 play, and then play a 4/4 Infested Brawler. Like, imagine if you Mystic Reflection their turn 1, they play a 3/5. Of course, they're going to play a 3/5. You're going to Infested Brawler, and all of a sudden you have a 2/4 and a 4/4. They only have their 3/5. And now you're already kind of taking off, developing your board in a way where you're going to build up, and you're going to remove pretty much everything that they play. Of course, Red 5 is in here because Red 5 is premium. Rey is able to damage undamaged units, unlike Mace. The synergy with Red 5 is off the charts. Better than Mace Windu because you are going to damage undamaged units with Rey and then get that 2 extra damage from Red 5. And of course, Chirrut here. Chirrut is just crazy strong. Everyone knows. Everyone knows that, like, your 4-drops are pretty much locked in, right? Chirrut and Ki-Adi-Mundi often talked about as the best 2 cards of the set. Well, Red-Blue Force, you get access to both of them and play both of them. They're amazing. The Forces with me is crazy in here. Crazy power, mid-range, push-in card. You know, extra 2 damage, instantly attack. This is our Surprise Strike. But again, our Surprise Strike gives us a shield, gives us permanent damage, and then lets us ping with Rey power. Just huge, just huge. Asajj, powerhouse. I love Asajj for her ability to create a real threat on the board. Like, for example, like, if you play Kiadi in the previous turn, you go Asajj, make Kiadi a 6/4, then all of a sudden they have to answer that. They have to take down, they have to fell the dragon, or they take 6 to the face, and then you still have the 5/6 Asajj sitting on the board. Just crazy strong. Asajj is premium in here. Mace Windu, of course, for follow-up plays with the Rey power. Like, you can Mystic Reflection, Rey Ping, and then potentially Mace Windu to finish off a late-game unit or finish off a leader. Luke Skywalker, of course, don't need to mention why that's in here. And then we have the Krayt Dragon to help us hang in the late game. What the Rey deploy is going to do for you, though, I just want to talk briefly about the Rey deploy. It's often seen as a bad deploy. It's not great, first of all, I'm going to say. Designers out there, I feel like two things happen with the Rey deploy, I think. One of two things. Either they are future-proofing it for, say, Rey's lightsaber or some discard pile manipulation that they're going to give Red Hero a little bit more. Because, of course, the quintessential discard pile card is in Green Villain, Palpatine Returns. So if heroes don't have that card, where is that card for hero? If I'm discarding my hand, I should have combos with that. So I'm sure it's planned, maybe in Rey's lightsaber or maybe in something else hero, but I want to see it. So that's the first thing there. But you can still use it as an advantage. Like, what I found with Mace Windu was, in the late game, like, the point of which you get to the deploy, you are really fishing for your Luke Skywalker. You're fishing for your Krayt Dragons. You want those Luke Skywalker's Krayt Dragons. You want all those in your hand. And if you don't have them in your hand, then you're fishing for them. Rey helps you do that. So, and Rey also helps you, like, you have all these you have 10 1-cost Force cards. You could just burn your hand, play super aggressive, because you know that when you Rey deploy, you're getting 2 cards. And often I have had no hand going into the Rey deploy, and therefore it's just draw 2. So that is significant, and it's difficult for people to really see the value there, because a lot of people, especially in blue decks, they like holding the answer, like holding the shatter point, right? I'm going to hold this shatter point for the whole game. Well, Rey doesn't really want you to do that. She wants you to burn your hand. She wants you to play aggressively. So keep that in mind. The other thing I want to mention with the Rey deploy and why she's actually a pretty strong deploy is she has the strongest power of a hero on deploy in the entire game. There are only actually 2 6-power leaders in the game right now. And that is Maul, who only has 6 HP. He's a 6/6 on 6. Rey is the other 6 damage leader. She's a 6/8 on 7. She's powerful. And she will end the game for you. Do a Forces with me for 8 to the base. She's strong. The only reason why I don't have the Jedi Saber in here, I would love to have the Jedi Saber. She's not a Jedi. It's kind of sad. I would love to have that Jedi Saber in here. And I have played around with Constructed in here as well. But it's not a force. I could see someone throwing in, like, 1 Constructed Lightsaber in here. Because Constructed Lightsaber is hella powerful. But I wanted to make sure, like, honestly, I wanted to add a second Unleash Rage. Because the card is just crazy strong, for one. But, play around with it. Maybe add Constructed. Maybe add a second Unleash Rage. This list is good. Like I said, I'm mostly undefeated. I'm like 10-0 with this deck right now. It's crazy strong. So this is our first look deck profile video in the new set. We're going to be coming out with a ton of first look deck profiles. So if you like this video, please hit that like button. Please hit subscribe to see all the deck profiles that we're going to be coming out in set 5. I have about 20 decks that I'm coming out with. This is the first one because this is the one I'm most excited about, to be honest with you. I think Rey is going to be for blue what we wish Mace was for blue. Like, when you throw Mace in blue, it has this weird, like, anti-synergy with itself. Like, you're destroying things, but you want to do damage to things. and then like you're paying it's weird. You lose a lot by losing double red cards with Mace. Rey does not. Rey doesn't lose anything. Rey loves blue. Rey is really finding a home in blue, and I think everything that we want a Mace Blue to be, Rey Blue is. So if you're a Mace Blue player out there and you love Mace Blue, I highly recommend you pick up Rey Blue. It's going to feel like home for you, and you're going to love it. So stay tuned for so many more Legends of the Force deck profiles.